there, I'm JB Portello. Welcome to In the Know. This program is to help you be aware and informed of projects and events going on in our area. Each month, we're going to post the program on the POA's Facebook page and make it available on community television. Want to be in the know? Then stay tuned. Good morning, Bella Vista. It's JB Portello here with In the Know. And again, I have with me the COO of the POA.
How are you today?
I am good. All those initials, those are just kind of crazy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But that's okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so let's dig right in. We had another really amazing celebrating success at the last meeting.
We sure did. So it was one of our lake rangers, Bob Walker, and Bob Walker has received previous celebrating success. But this one was really, really good. So here are my notes on it. So on December 11th, Bob was going around Lake Avalon, and he noticed that there was some smoke and fire coming up from a grassy area. Mm-hmm. He contacted 911. There was a little bit of confusion because there was a permitted fire in almost the same area, and so there's a little bit of confusion. So he had to be very persistent. No, this is not a permitted fire. This is something that's out of control. He was able to get to the home. Nobody was home, but his quick actions probably saved, potentially a home from burning down. So fantastic effort on his part. Really proud of him. Yes. Just really speaks well of the entire POA.
It certainly does. Another great story.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is.
All right. So now let's talk about the fact that the assessment passed, mm-hmm. and we can move on mm-hmm. and do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And keep going. So just talk to me.
So I wrote down a number of things. So the first thing is, the new rates, the user fees, and the assessment increase kick in on March 1. So let's review the benefits of the activity card.
Okay.
So with the purchase of an activity card, so it costs you $30 a year, you will get unlimited use, free use of the pools, the beach, the gym facilities, the lakes, range balls, free green fees at Brittany Golf Course, and 10% off your food purchases at Light Point and BV and Bar Grill.
Gotcha.
So a lot of great benefits. If you already have a photo ID card, mm-hmm. those are going to be good. So let's say your photo ID card doesn't expire until June. You don't need to come in and replace it, okay? For the first year, we're going to honor photo ID cards and activity cards. They're going to be treated the same, okay? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to come in to replace it. Once it comes due in June, go in, you replace it, and it'll say activity card on it.
So has it got a new look?
It's got a new look.
Ooh, I heard it's white or something.
Yeah. It's a different look, but it'll be great.
So they're not ready yet?
You can, so if you go in now, mm-hmm. you can get an activity card, but what we're going to do is we're going to prorate it. So the new rate schedule doesn't kick in until March 1, so we would charge you at the higher rate depending upon when you started. So let's say you went in on February 1. And let's say you got a photo ID, or you got a annual golf membership, or you registered your boat. We're going to charge you for 1 month at the old rate. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we're going to charge you 11 months at the new rate.
That sounds like a lot of accounting work for somebody.
Yeah. But the fee schedule doesn't kick in until March 1.
I understand.
But we can accommodate everybody. So, don't hesitate to come in. Come on in, and we'll take care of you. We'll get you going.
Okay, that's fabulous.
Yeah. Now, let's say you already purchased your annual golf membership or something to that nature, now you're going to have a refund coming. Mm-hmm. So any refund over $10, we're going to cut you a check. Okay. Any refund under $10 is going to be credited to your account.
Okay.
And they've been going through and processing that. We even had a refund for 1 penny, and it went on to that property owner's account.
Fabulous. You got some really good accounting people.
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay, so are you saying we should wait, or there's no need to wait for the
Come
lines?
on in.
Okay.
We can sign you up now. We can take care of your annual golf membership, your boat registration, and so forth. And what I'm concerned about is if everybody waits, March 1, it's going to be long lines at member services. It's going to be like going to the DMV.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. Right. So we just assume you come in beforehand, and we'll take care of you.
Okay. That sounds really good. So there's a drop in price, I think, on some other things.
Yeah. So just want to remind everybody, with the 2020 plan, you're going to have a pretty significant drop in boat registrations and boat slips. And we have quite a number of boat slips available on Loch Lomond. And so that price has gone for an uncovered slip has gone from $880 down to $500.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you have one of our larger boats and you need to register, the registration fee has gone from $210 down to $125. So that person, if you at some point moved your boat over to Beaver Lake, bring it back. You're going to save a whole bunch of money.
Excellent.
Similar with the golf memberships. We're lowering the golf memberships, and we're lowering whether you have a seat lease or a private cart. So all those are coming down. So come on back. We've had a number of people over the years have canceled their memberships, and they're playing golf down the road.
Come home.
Come home. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing on that is, starting March 1, with an activity card, property owners can get golf, green fee, cart fee, prime time, $33.
Wow, good.
That is a great rate. That is a great rate for our property owners. Now, on top of that, we are introducing, and this is part of the 2020 plan, the 10-play prepay. So you have to have an activity card. The 10-play prepay, you can use it for anybody. Family, friends, does not matter. You pre-purchase 10 rounds of golf. It costs you $330. So that's going to be at your same rate, the $33 rate. You can only get 10 rounds per year. The rounds are good. It's good for 2 years. So you have to use them up. You do have to accompany the member. The member has to be playing with the guest.
Gotcha.
So you can't just say, hey, my cousin is coming out. You can't call the pro shop. My cousin's coming out. Please use one of my rounds. No, you got to be with your cousin. And you're going to purchase those 10-play prepay at member services only. So you can't get it at the pro shops.
Okay, member services only. And you said, I think I heard you say that you could only purchase one of those per year. You can't just do back to back.
Yeah, okay. And I've referred to them as a card, but we're actually going to have everything automated on our system, so it'll be a virtual card. But you can only get one card of 10 a year, but they're good for 2 years.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Guest cards?
Yeah, so with the 2020 plan, and I've phrased this many times, we're closing the doors on a lot of our amenities where non-members are no longer allowed to use the lakes, the pools, the beach, the fitness center. You have to have a guest pass with you. Okay, so we just want to remind members that you get guest passes through member services. You can even do it online. It's real easy. There is no charge.
Oh.
There's no charge for guest passes. They just have to have them with them. Okay? So if you have, if your cousin, if your relative is coming out and you get them a guest pass because they want to go to the pool or the beach, you just got to make sure you get that guest pass and they carry it with them. We're going to have to be really stern on this because our property owners spoke loud and clear that they want to make sure that non-members without a guest pass are no longer welcome at those locations.
So golf is the only one that's not under that?
Well, the golf, non-members can play golf. They can go to the restaurants and I'm sure I'm missing something else. Blowing Springs Park they can go to, but pretty much everything else.
Okay. Well, that's what the members wanted, and that's great.
Yeah, and we're actually refining a list that'll be available on our website to make sure that everybody understands exactly what is open for property owners only and their guests, and what is open, for non-members,
Gotcha.
like golf.
Let's remind everybody, because I'm not sure I even remember. I only go there once a year. Where is Members Services?
So we have the one location up at Huntley on the west side.
Yes.
And then the other one is at Metfield.
Okay.
Okay, so if you know where the clubhouse is at Metfield, it's on the far right-hand side. So they'll come in, get your guest passes, real easy.
Okay, good deal. All right. Wow, can't wait.
Yeah. March 1 is right around the corner.
Well, I'm probably going to be one of those because I want that new card. I'm going to wait till March the 1st. But anyway, that's fabulous news. I'm really happy for all of us. It is all of us.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Can we talk then maybe now, unless there's something else you want to say about that?
No, we're good.
Let's talk about the connector, the Blowing Springs connector.
So the Blowing Springs connector, that is a hard surface, 10-foot wide concrete path. Many have called it a sidewalk.
Yeah.
That actually connects into the greenway. So this path, this connector has been contemplated for almost 20 years. I was looking at one of the magazines that the POA produces and sends out to all our property owners. And this one was published in the first quarter of 16. And it had a map, and it showed where this connector would be. And so last March 12th, we had a community input meeting about this. And so it's really starting to come to head. The city voted on the agreement between the city and the POA for this connector. And the board is planning on voting on this at their February meeting.
I noticed there was a lot of talk about the Burksdale Bridge at the last meeting. So can you enlighten us on that?
So the Burksdale Bridge, it's been closed for 9 months or so. We sustained some damage from one of the storms in the spring. A log hit one of the piers that supports it, the right size log at the right angle, hit the pier and dislodged it. And so we closed the bridge. And so you can see right now it's collecting a lot of material around it, which is not good. But we had a further inspection of the bridge, and of the 15 piers that are supporting the bridge, 3 are now either completely dislodged or significantly damaged. And they're all the front piers, the upstream piers. And you can see that the bridge is noticeably sagging. So the board voted that we need to remove the bridge. And so we're going through our engineering firm, Craft and Tull, because we have to get necessary permits. We got to do everything by the book to get that thing out of there as soon as possible, because my biggest fear is that it falls on its own. Big storm comes through, logs hit it in the right place. We want to get it out in an orderly manner. We don't want to be having to take this out of the stream bed.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense to me. Okay. When's Lake Point going to reopen?
So,
it's open, which is exciting.
Which is great. And we kept it. The original plan was to close it just like last year. And so many of our property owners, so many of our regulars came and said, look, just keep the bar open and light finger foods. And that's been really great. And so, but we're going to fully reopen with the menu. And actually, Chef has added some new twists to the menu. Majority of your favorites are still there, but a couple new things, and it opens up February 12th.
Okay, and then there's a big, on the 14th, a big Valentine's Day celebration.
Yeah.
I went there the other night. Chef's been doing some side classes.
Yeah.
And you can't get into any of those classes because it's always full. But I was able to get to the one where he made doggy treats. It was great. And it was a
Fantastic.
really wonderful way not only to learn about that and everything he does, and it was a networking session with a lot of people, so it was wonderful.
He's great at that. And so the original plan was to do the cooking classes during the wintertime when, Lake Point's closed and we have a little bit more time on our hands. But they've been so successful. We're actually going to do them. I think it's every other month. I saw the schedule the other day. And so we're going to do it on a regular basis because it was so well received by the property owners.
Especially the pizza one. That's the one everybody wants.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, well, as always, I enjoyed talking with you today.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to March the 1st.
Absolutely.
Yes? Okay. All right. Well, can we take a break? And we'll be back in a few minutes. Hi there. We're back again. And this time I'm with the POA's General Counsel, Doug McCash.
Good morning, JB.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I hear you have some information for us on a hearing that might have happened last week that would be of interest to the POA members.
Yeah, some of you may have seen an article that was published in the newspaper on Saturday morning about a hearing that we had in Little Rock surrounding the stump dump fire. That continues, as you know, litigation regarding that. But you may recall that we entered into an administrative order with ADEQ back in May of last year, 2019. And in that order, the POA took over responsibility for putting out the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And there were specific things in the order that we were allowed to do to pursue the potentially responsible parties after expending our own money to put out that fire. A couple of months after that administrative order, one of the potentially responsible parties entered into their own administrative order with ADEQ, which contradicted some of the things in the order that we had previously signed with ADEQ. So this hearing on Friday was us petitioning the court to at least review that portion of the administrative order so that we would still have that opportunity to pursue the potentially responsible parties for funds that the POA has spent.
Wow.
It's complicated.
Yes, to say the least.
Yeah, we've asked that. We've had that question asked to us: Is this a good thing for the POA? And it is. It's a good thing because if the administrative order had gone through with this other potentially responsible party, it potentially could have restricted us from being able to pursue those other individuals for their portion of what we feel their responsibility is to put out the fire.
So there's no decision yet, but that you've asked them to review to make sure that there's no problem.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a review of the administrative order that was entered into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share about the legal world of the POA?
Well, it takes up a lot of time. As you know, it's a complicated issue that we're trying to stay on top of, but just making sure that we are keeping the best interests of the POA top of mind. And there's a lot of different issues that we're facing, but those are critical to the POA that we stay on top of those.
Okay. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot. I want to take this time, and maybe you can help me here,
Okay.
to talk, remind people that there are at least 3 entities here trying to take care of all of us here.
Mhm.
We have the POA, we have the city,
Mm-hmm.
we have the ACC. And I want to remind everybody really quickly here that on the website, there is actually a really good little document that explains the difference between the 3. And there's even another one that says, do I need a permit? So I recommend that everybody go out and read it again. And then go to the city website. There's actually another one that talks about not only that, what the city does, what the property owners do, what Cooper does, which is where the ACC is, by the way. It also talks about townhouse associations and then other providers. So I think you had some word on the ACC.
Yeah. Just as a general rule, you may recall that the city was founded back in 2007, and they took over such critical issues such as the fire department, police department, streets, those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
The ACC is responsible for what I'd call enforcing aesthetic provisions of the protective covenants of the Declaration. So how your house looks, how you park your vehicles on your yard and those types of things. So that's what the ACC is responsible for. And the POA is responsible for managing amenities.
Exactly.
Someone had mentioned to me earlier that, they don't feel like the ACC takes as active a role in enforcing those aesthetic provisions that they would like to. And I was talking to someone this morning about some case law that I've reviewed, cases that were filed recently here in Benton County. And they're actually cases that the ACC has filed against individuals to enforce those protective covenants that keep our village, our city up to snuff and pretty like it should be.
Okay.
So they do still take an active role in enforcing those aesthetic provisions.
Okay. So seriously, folks, go and find out for yourselves how this is operating instead of just assuming that the POA is responsible for everything, because we do our part.
Yeah, and it's important to know that if you make a complaint or a suggestion, people are out there listening to you.
Yes.
It may take some time to get to your issue, but there are people that are taking it seriously and looking into it.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm sure that everybody will be glad to hear what you have to say, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, JP.
Thank you. Okay, Bella Vista, you just finished a new roll of In the Know for this week. We'll see you next month.